Entrepreneurship Q1 Module 4. In this module, we are going to talk about market research. The market research or marketing research process can be defined as the process of gathering, analyzing, and interpreting the information about the products or the services to be offered for sale to the potential consumer in the market. So we also have the different ways to collect the data. The most important methods you can consider are, number one is survey, focus group discussion, and interview. For the objectives, we have to discuss market research, know the meaning of data gathering, and identify the different data gathering techniques. In the previous lesson, you learned the followings on how to recognize and understand the potential market, how to determine who the customer are in terms of target market, customer requirement, and the market size. For this activity, you are just going to answer the following statement honestly, and there is no right or wrong answer. So you just have to indicate the check and the best correspond to your answer. After answering all the statement, add your score and report the conversion and the verbal interpretation of your score. So makikita natin dito kung gaano kataas or gaano kababa yung intention mo to become an entrepreneur based on your score. Data collection is the most valuable tool of any type of research study. Inaccurate data collection may cause mistake and ultimately lead to invalid results. So here are the tips in gathering data. So number one is you have to organize collected data as soon as it is available and know what message you want to get across, and then collect data that is relevant to the message. Okay, for this lesson, we will consider the three different data collection techniques. So number one is survey or yung questionnaires na ginagamit, interview, and the focus group discussion. And evaluate their suitability under different circumstances. Okay, so dito po sa survey, these are the most common way to gather primary research with the use of the questionnaires, interview schedule. So this can be done via direct mail, over the phone, internet, email, or face-to-face, or on web, or Skype, or Viber. And when designing or constructing your own research questionnaire, remember the following guidelines. So may guidelines po tayong tinatawag. You just have to keep it simple as possible. Make sure it is clearly to read. Cluster or block-related question. Move from complex question to more specific question. Make sure that the questions are concise and easily understood. Avoid questions that are difficult to answer, and make sure that any response scales used are consistent with categories that are mutually exclusive. Interview is one of the most reliable and credible ways of getting relevant information from the target customer. So usually, ang interview daw is typically done personal between the researcher or entrepreneur and respondent, where the researcher asks pertinent questions that will give significant pieces of information about the problem that he will solve. So the interview is also helpful even when the business has already started, because the customer feedback provides the entrepreneur a glimpse of what customers think about the business. We have the two types of interview, personal and telephone. So, ang sabi dito sa personal, this one is the traditional method of conducting an interview because it allows the researcher to establish relationship with potential participants and therefore gain their cooperation. It also generates highest response rate in survey research. So, they also allow the researcher to clarify indefinite answer and when necessary, seek follow-up information. So, dito tayo nagkakaroon ng follow-up information tapos nakukuha din natin yung sagot nila. Then, the other one is the telephone interview. This one is less expensive and less time-consuming. But the disadvantage are that the response rate is not as high as the face-to-face interview, but considerably higher than the mailed questionnaire. Next is, may tinatawag po tayong focus group discussion. So this one is an excellent method for generating and screening ideas and concepts. So it can be moderated. Ito po ay as group, interview and brainstorming session that provide information on user needs and behavior. For the focus group discussion, the length of the session between is 90 to 120 minutes. And usually, conduct focus group discussion with the 8 to 10 participant per group. So also, assign an expert moderator, facilitator who can manage the group dynamics. Use a semi-structure or open format discussion. Strive for consistency in the group's composition. For example, it may not be advisable to have business customer and retail customer in the same focus group. There needs to be very different to other. Aside from the main basic group research method, meron din tayong tinatawag na quantitative and qualitative and mix. So there are different tools that can be used to collect data. Interviews can be done either personal or over the phone, and survey questionnaire can be paper or web-based. Focus group discussion can be moderated group interviews and brainstorming session that provide information on user needs and behavior. So this one is a sample of a survey form.